finally, we are back again, and this is what it's all about, the DTM Trophy 2011. Of course, we all want to know who will be the successor of Pol di Resta, who is a DTM champ 2010. And this was a brilliant first race weekend here in Hockenheim. And now here are the highlights. Enjoy.
Yes, thank you very much, Verena. And of course, Pol di Resta has moved on to Formula One and a great start to his Grand Prix career. We have 5 rookies in the field. 3 of those are at Audi, 2 at Mercedes-Benz. We also have lots of changes of colour schemes. We have David Coulthard, who is back. So lots of action expected here. Watch out for Jamie Green, who has moved back into the Mercedes-Benz top squad. And of course, Timo Scheider is a previous double champion. Let's hear from him right now. Yeah, Timo talking in his native German, saying, well, I think at the front it's going to be the old favourites, but of course now I have Mike Rockenfeller in my team in one of the current cars, and well, I have to watch out for some of the rookies, like particularly Eduardo Mortara and Albuquerque. I think they might go very well. And how about Mercedes? Well, he said, I think Bruno Spengler is very important to Mercedes-Benz, but I'd rank Gary Paffett even stronger than Bruno. It's still hard to tell how Ralf Schumacher will go, so difficult to make any predictions at all at this stage. Well, the pressure is on for everyone, including that man, Mike Rockenfeller. Expectations are very high and just not my own, but the main thing is to put myself under pressure to win, and perhaps even win the championship in the end. Conditions are different now with a brand new car, so I'm very happy about that. In 2010, Mercedes celebrated a 1, 2, 3, 4 in the opening race at Hockenheim. The Stuttgart company hoping to repeat that, of course, and there is Bruno Spengler. Hockenheim, he says, is one of my favourite circuits. The atmosphere is fantastic. I'm really excited, really motivated about the first race. I want to get maximum points. I want to win. Right now, we have to make it through the practice and qualifying, and then we'll see how things go. But I'm motivated, and I'm really looking forward to it, says the man from the Alsace. Well, that's the man who won here last year, Gary Paffett. For the last 2 years, he has been the runner-up in the championship, and looking forward to this year.
I expect a very close race. I mean, it's quite unexpected, really, what the speed of the cars are going to be like. You know, we've both done testing with the new tyres, and they seem pretty good, but we haven't done any testing together. So the speed from our C-Class compared to the Audi is unknown, really. So we're going there with high expectations of being able to win the race, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens anyway.
Yeah, certainly is. And of course, that new tyre manufacturer is the Hankook company from Korea, and everyone seems to be pleasantly surprised. Here is the famous track. We are on the full Grand Prix version of Hockenheim, unlike last October. The hairpin, of course, the slowest point of the circuit. Let's hear now some more about the circuit from Mike Rockenfeller. It's great to have Hockenheim as the season opener.
Because it's the home race of everybody in DTM.
The season starts here.
It's always good to race there. There's a lot of support from the fans, and the atmosphere is always really good.
And here is one of the rookies. This is Christian Vittoris.
Hockenheim
is a very demanding circuit for both the driver and for the car. It has a lot of fast corners, some slow ones, or long straights. So your setup is very important indeed, and it's always a compromise. 4.574. First turn is very fast, he says.
Coming down towards turn 2, braking very hard on the bumps. Very important to get a good exit from this corner, because we have the long parabolic straight shortly after this, which is somewhere where you can gain and lose a lot of time if you get a bad run out of the corner before. This is also one of the best overtaking places during the race as well. You can get a tow behind someone down here. This is where it's the highest speed, again braking very hard down for first gear for the hairpin turn 4.
Obviously you want to make a good exit from the hairpin, then we race to the Mercedes Arena, the new park with a terrific big grandstand and lots of good action. This is a good opportunity for overtaking.
In the Mercedes Arena down to second gear. Try and keep the car quite tight. We have now a left and right hand corner that's nearly flat on a good qualifying lap, running out wide to the curbs.
Into the infield, a fast right-hander, another aerodynamically important turn. You run wide on the exit, trying to use all the available space. Then we come to the Sachs curve, which has been here forever.
We have a flat chicane, followed by the two last corners, the two right-hand corners, which are quite difficult, really, the first one especially. This one trying to get a run onto the straight and hopefully crossing the line with pole position.
Let's turn the clock back 12 months. Yeah, the opener was a really good race for me. The season started well. The start of the race was a bit chaotic. I had it going together with Paul di Resta, but I was the best of the Audis in the end, so obviously a great start to my year.
I scored my first point in DTM. Was fantastic atmosphere. At the beginning I was a little bit nervous because it was my first race in the championship.
Winning the first race at Hockenheim is incredible. You know, it's the start of the season and you really want to get off to a good start, and there's nothing better than winning the first race.
It's great to be part of it. Can't think of anything better than starting in Hockenheim.
You know, enjoy Hockenheim and enjoy the thrill of the first race of the year.
Qualifying, here is the man who was celebrating. It was Bruno Spengler. Excellent lap from him.
I was improving every qualifying, Q1, Q2, Q3. Got always a better feeling and knew where to brake and where to go on power. So that was important. That was the key today, not making mistakes and going through the qualifyings, even with less driving than the others. And I'm very happy, definitely, of this quali today, and we'll see for tomorrow. But today is definitely a good day for us.
On the front row with him, Matthias Ekstrom in the final top 4 shootout, 0.13 of a second slower than Spengler.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with my qualifying. In the end, to be on P2 is okay. I mean, everybody comes here to go for pole position, but today was nothing more in my car and my team. We did everything we could.
Ralf Schumacher has unlocked the key to the DTM. He was third fastest. There's his wife Cora. Ralf looking fast all through practice and qualifying.
Being first and third is great for us as Mercedes-Benz drivers. Let's hope that we can carry that through to tomorrow and hopefully get the best result out of that.
Timo Scheider in the new white colours completed the second row of the grid. Then it was Rockenfeller and Martin Tomczyk in an older 08 spec car.
I'm happy with the result. Personally, I have to say I made a mistake. That's quite disappointed for me because I was sure that I can fight for the pole position today with the car.
Here was a man that was very unlucky. Gary Paffett missed a shift into the gravel, and that was in the first qualifying sector, so he would start at the back of the grid. Unhappy.
The cars felt quite good, the cars felt fast, so I think it's a shame because we could have been fighting certainly for Q4 and maybe for a pole, but as it is, we're starting at the back and it's going to make it a hard race.
So there is a qualifying. There's your top 10. Spengler, Ekstrom, Schumacher, Scheider, Mauro Engel was 7th. That was a good performance. Christian Vittoris, the best DTM rookie. Oliver Jarvis, a disappointing 12th in the current spec car. And of course, Gary Paffett starting right there at the very back. Also note Rahel Frey, the new lady driver who has replaced Catherine Legg in the Glamour Audi. But Bruno Spengler takes the first pole of the year. There are the top 3. Well, Matthias Ekstrom is one of the most experienced drivers in the field and certainly could win the championship again in 2011. The current drivers, only Timo Scheider has more starts than does the likeable Swede, who has just become a father. Of course, he's also a great all-rounder, but Matthias definitely concentrating on the DTM this year.
And now I'm here with Matthias Ekström, who's still signing autographs. Eki, quick question. The qualifying yesterday, you're starting in P2 today. How happy are you with that?
Yeah, I mean, front row is always going to be front row, and I had a clean lap. The car was good in the end, and today I think you can see weather is good, and hopefully, I mean really hopefully, it would be nice to win. First race as a papa, I would definitely bring the trophy home, not give it to the team or out. I would steal it immediately and write it as the first victory as papa, and yeah, no jokes anymore. I mean, it's serious here, and I think the key for the race will be to make a good start. If I can get a good takeoff, would be nice to pass Bruno for turn one. If not, I think it's just to follow the pace and see if we can maybe pass him during a pit stop.
And you just mentioned it, you just became daddy, and usually they say as soon as you have a kid, you're a lot slower, but that's certainly not the case for you, is it?
No, I think in my case, it's also in Timo Scheider's case, we will definitely be on one side quicker because the motivation to go racing and working is harder, but also the motivation go home is higher. And I think the harmony in life gets different, and also some perspectives that racing is important, but there is something which has more importance, and that's when I have a family at home.
And now talking about nothing, but I want to ask your hand. That's a good point. Was that a bit of a handicap in the qualifying yesterday? Do you think you could have secured pole otherwise, or is it doing all right?
No, in short runs there's no problem at all. I feel in the long runs I get quicker tired, but I mean tired more or less. I will fight until the end, and on Monday it's anyway a recovery day, so I will make sure it's no problem. But sure, the little pain which is there once in a while, I could enjoy also without.
And today's the race. How's that going to go? What do you think?
I'm pretty sure it will be a close call between Mercedes and Audi. I think the key will be to be consistent with the new Hankook tires. So far in testing and the qualifying, everybody are really impressed, and I have to say it's just amazing what the Hankook people have done. So the feeling is really good. So what happens in the long run, everybody estimates, but no one knows. So if everybody are as good as we are, I think it will be very, very close to the end.
Sure, it's going to be an exciting race. Thank you very much, Eki. Looking forward to the race.
So there they are on the grid, all 18 DTM cars. This, of course, the last year for these space frame cars, and the last year with just 2 manufacturers. BMW will join in next year. Here's Verena.
And now I'm here with Bruno Spengler. What an exciting qualifying yesterday. You certainly kept it exciting till the very end. You secured pole. What's your feeling about the race today?
Well, yeah, yesterday was a great day, especially after the difficult free practice that we had. But I'm feeling pretty good about the race. Looking forward to it. We have great weather. Try to do the best start possible. The first 3 corners are very important here. Not that anybody crashes into you, and then we see how the race develops. We had a good performance over the distance, so it should be okay. I do my best and try to win the race.
2010 wasn't the best year for you, very unlucky as well. Do you just forget about that and go straight forward to 2011 and just ace it?
Yeah, 2010 was actually a good year. Only the last race was tough, but you know, in motorsport sometimes happen things that you don't expect. That's the way it is, and I forgot it completely. I'm always motivated and will think only about 2011 and looking forward to the race now.
Yes, remember, of course, that Spengler led most of the championship last year, but, well, in the end, at Shanghai, had all kinds of problems, and there, Paul di Resta was ready to snatch the title away from him. He is in the familiar colours, Eki 2 in a Red Bull car again, just getting ready to climb into the cars. Lots of stars of the German entertainment and pop world around, of course, on the grid. Some sportsmen from other disciplines as well. That is Ralf Schumacher's car. That's the colours we associate with Gary Paffett, of course, but the colours have changed. There are quite a lot of other new sponsor colours as well. Timo Scheider, double champion in the past, gets ready. Well, one man who won't be racing here, of course, is the reigning champion, Paul di Resta, now racing for Force India. But he was at the race to check out how his old mates were going. And I think down on the grid, Verena Wright was able to catch up with the Scotsman and ask him about the DTM.
Paul di Resta is here as well, DTM champion 2010, now obviously in the Formula One. But do you miss the DTM?
Yeah, of course. You know, as soon as Mercedes invited me to come here, I felt it was very important. Having won the title so far away in Shanghai, there was a lot of people I didn't get to thank, and I'm just genuine a race fan of DTM. You know, I'm sure there's going to be a good race to offer today, and it'll be nice just to sit back, enjoy it, stress-free, but fingers crossed for Mercedes.
Yeah, another man down there on the grid we spotted was Nico Rosberg, Mercedes Formula One driver. There, that's the old Jamie Green colours, now with Christian Vittoris at the wheel of that car. Here's the F3 Euro Series champion, now with Audi, Eduardo Mortara, and of course winner of the Macau Grand Prix. Another newcomer, the Dutchman Renger van der Zande, also a good Formula 3 driver. He is in the Stern car that Frankie Cheng used to drive. This is the fourth DTM rookie, Felipe Albuquerque, the man who won last year's Race of Champions in Dusseldorf. And then Catherine Legg's replacement is Rahal Frey, and she is driving this gold car. Interesting to see how the young Swiss girl gets on. There is Nico with Norbert Haug. And we are ready for the start, and it can be explosive here. And off they go! And great to see David Coulthard has made a good start. Had problems last year. Albuquerque on the grass, everybody through that tight first corner. Some will go wide, as they always do. And Ekstrom going well alongside Spengler, but it's Spengler just inching ahead. And down into the right-hander. It is Spengler in the lead. Mike Rockenfeller didn't make a very good start in the yellow Audi. He slipped back to 7th place. And Paffett immediately has gone up 3 or 4 places from the back of the field. Here they come down into the hairpin. And we've seen plenty of incident here. But it all looks pretty clean to me. Paffett moving up another place, gets past Vittoris. But cracking start from Bruno Spengler, the French-Canadian just recently spent a month back in his native Canada and comes here very relaxed, very quick in qualifying. He's always quick when there's not that much pressure, is Spengler. Spengler in the lead then. Ecke in 2nd place. Of course, nobody's sure quite how these new tyres are going to react. Thus far they seem to have been pretty good. A bit of dust kicked up at the back. And see Tomczyk going very well. That's the very bright yellow and green car. Tomczyk demoted after about must be 9 years in the top Audi team. Demoted down to one of the satellite teams and has got an awful lot to prove. So Spengler, Ekstrom, Schumacher going well. Scheider, Engel, Tomczyk. Watch the start. Oh, there's Susie Stoddard. She jumped the start, the pink car in the middle there. And just trying to load it up on the clutch. And it's pretty difficult to do that. And well, she had to go because I think the clutch was starting to overheat. They're rolling it backwards and forwards on the tape to show us. But she jumped the start. Sure, there'll be a penalty for that. And Rahal Frey very slow away. But it was Spengler who got the best jump. Ekstrom, see on the inside, but Spengler coming off that corner, having gone wide. You can see it from on board. I think this is on board with Mike Rockenfeller. Nice on-board shot. So there, that's Tomczyk going past Mike Rockenfeller. Effectively, those two have swapped cars this season, and there's Susie already serving that drive-through penalty that will drop her to the back of the field. Spengler already opening up a gap over Ekstrom and Schumacher. Schumacher, 4th year in the DTM, yet to get a podium. He'd like to break that duck here today. Has, of course, won a Formula 1 Grand Prix. One of his 6 Formula 1 victories came here at Hockenheim early in his career, long time ago now. On-board shots. And Gary Paffett already fighting, coming up through the field. And, well, Paffett really is on it. He's very angry with himself for making a little mistake in qualifying. It's his first flying lap of qualifying, dumped it in the gravel, as you saw. There he is in the black car with a new sponsor this season, different colours for Gary Paffett. But, Paffett certainly moving up. And there he goes, another place, I think. So Gary Paffett certainly going very strongly indeed. Jamie Green making some good progress. Jamie, a bit disappointing in qualifying as we still track with Paffett there. And on board with the number 7 car, Jamie Green, as we see that's Gary Paffett passing fellow Brit Oliver Jarvis. And Jamie Green wants to get by. 3 Brits lined astern there. Always been a strong British contingent in the DTM. And I see Tomczyk just making a challenge which didn't work. Spengler seems to have pulled out. Nice little buffer over the next 2. Chased by Ekstrom and Schumacher. Tomczyk is past Engel. There he goes. That was the replay. So Tomczyk moves up to 5th place. With these new tyres, here's another replay. Is that the Tomczyk move? Yeah, it is. Just got the better drive through the hairpin past Engel in the GQ magazine car. New livery though this season. Pretty striking it is, in black and white. And this is the first of the scheduled pit stops right at the beginning of the pit window. And the boys have been practicing it over the winter. Let's see if they just over 3 seconds. Nice stop from Gary Paffett. And that'll get him out in some fresh air, get his head down, try and put in a couple of really quick laps to get him on terms. And he's looking certainly to get in the points from starting 18th. Getting on the podium will be a tall order. Maybe, though points are on, remember, points down to 8th place here at the DTM. It's the old Formula 1 point scoring system. Now, you think that's Gary Paffett. It's not, of course. The change in colour schemes, that is Ralf Schumacher. Ralf with a lot of support from his wife Cora this weekend. Cora also racing actually in one of the DTM support series in a Mini. And she had a pretty good run in her first race of the weekend. Lots of different races, of course, on the DTM bill. So Ralf Schumacher chasing Ekstrom and Spengler, but certainly drives to watch in this race thus far has to be Martin Tomczyk and has to be Gary Paffett. And let's not forget that Jamie Green has made some pretty good progress as well. Another pit stop. Quite a lot of them coming in now. And on the rev limiter. Everyone waiting. So easy to make a mistake at these pit stops. These boys, about 12 of them go to work on the car. There is Schumacher. Of course, the field all gets shaken around when we go through the pit stop phase, but nobody seems to be on a very long start. Oh, problems for Susie Stollard. And that dump can lodged on the wing there at the moment. That will fall off sooner or later. We've seen this happen quite a lot before. Sometimes they fall off in the pit lane, but Susie carrying that round the track and trying to swerve to get rid of it. Because that will be a problem if it fell off right in the face of someone. There it goes, down at the hairpin, scatters down the road, harmlessly out of the way as we get another group of 4 coming in. They are led by the race leader, Bruno Spengler, in the Mercedes bank-backed C-Class. As I said, this is the last season for these space frame tubular cars. We move on next year to a monocoque design. BMW joining in as well. Rumour that Lexus might also join the DTM, if not next year, the year after. But everyone will use the same monocoque chassis then, but they'll hang their own suspension, own bodywork onto it, use their own engine. Still on board with number 6, Ralf Schumacher. Schumacher pushing hard at the moment. And it looks as if he might have a pop at taking second place. Well, this is the best we've seen Schu. Remember, he put it on the pole last year at the Norris Ring, then was adjudged to have jumped the start. But he's looking very good at the moment. The man who had all those successes with Williams went on to race subsequently for Toyota. He has got one of the top 09 spec cars. These cars actually now in their 3rd season of racing. Of course, they've been totally refurbished over the winter. There is Ekstrom, and he just managed to eke out a little bit of time. And look at these behind him, the 2 Audis of Martin Tomczyk and Timo Scheider. So Mercedes and Audi pretty fairly matched at the moment. Remember, last year we had 11 races. 9 of them were won by Mercedes, only 2 by Audi. The 3 previous seasons, of course, the driving champion was in an Audi. So, oh, there's Cora Schumacher. And a move down the inside, which doesn't work. Albuquerque gets turned around by Vitoris. Christian Vitoris was in GP2 last year, although prior to that we saw him around the DTM circuits at F3 Euro Series events. Paffett looking out for him there. He is up to 8th place, in line for some points now. Chasing after Molina. 2 Red Bull cars this year. The Molina one has the yellow markings on the front. We'll be into our 2nd round of pit stops very soon. I suspect it might be Gary Paffett. Remember, he was the first to break for the pits at the 1st round of stops, and that's his team getting ready. So Gary Paffett really has been working hard from the back of the grid. And here he does come in. 3-pointed star of Mercedes-Benz, Thomas Sabo, the new watch and jewellery sponsor on that car. The nozzle will go on. Hopefully this is a clean one. Well, it wasn't one of the quickest. 5 seconds-ish. Dropped to 2nd or so. Here's Timo Scheider. So long we saw him racing a black car. Now he's in this white machine and sporting the logos of a German road test magazine. There is Engel, and there's cars coming. Is Engel going to get out in front of Molina? And yeah, Engel, now he's up to 6th place at the moment. There is Engel, the black and white Mercedes. Molina chasing. At the front, still the same story. Very consistent run from our French comedian. Won a couple of races last season, the 2nd of them at the Nürburgring, because hasn't won since then. And there is our 2nd place driver, Schumacher. Tomczyk right behind him now. Tomczyk is having a very strong drive, but there he goes off into the gravel. Well, that'll lose him some time, and of course he'll get the gravel on his tyres and slow him up. He is yet to make his next pit stop, and he has to do it now. He's probably still got gravel on the tyres, so in he comes. Schumacher comes in as well. As ever, lots of action here at Hockenheim, and of course the season will this year finish at Hockenheim, the traditional way of doing things. Last year the season finished at Shanghai, that controversial street race. That is not on the calendar for 2011. They hope it will be on the calendar for 2012. But meanwhile, of course, as well as our regular races, we're going to have an event in the Olympic Stadium at Munich, Race of Champions style. And there's another of those dump cans, and that one's in the track. Well, that might bring out, which certainly might bring out a full course yellow. Is there any brave marshal going to rush and get it? Yeah, we've got a full course yellow. Well, that will, of course, concertina everybody up. So, there is the can. Safety car has been deployed. So, well, that's interesting. There is the, what have we got here? We've got an Audi R8. Of course, Audi raced those successfully. They're heading towards the Nürburgring 24 hours pretty soon. Well, they'll have quite a lot of those cars racing with some of their top drivers. Now Marshall runs and gets the car. Meanwhile, Spengler makes his pit stop. Probably a good move. As do other cars, including second placed Ekstrom. Accelerating away out of the pits. Here at Hockenheim, we are in a full course yellow situation. I'm not sure they deployed the safety car quite in the right place. You might have to wave some cars through and get them all lined up correctly. Tomczyk held briefly. Oh, sorry, it's not Tomczyk, it's Rockenfeller. Held briefly at the pit exit, which just cost him a second or two. Rocky not having a brilliant race, has to be said. Thought Rocky might be right up there at the front, looking very racy in the qualifying. There's the safety car, trying to wave them through, and I think it's Mortara who's head that list. He's not quite sure what to do, and finally they all go through, and that's what they're trying to do. They haven't picked up the leader, unfortunately. We'll sort that out, and this is a replay of what happened with Tomczyk's fueling can, aluminium can. Over the years we've seen this happen quite a lot. And there it is. And often the drivers can see that, and they weave, and the tank falls off just as it has done there, although there was no weaving. And little bits fall off it. People avoid it, but unfortunately didn't skitter off to the side of the track, and then it was relieved by this chap. I wonder if he gets to keep that as a souvenir. Probably is quite badly damaged. I hope he does. So the field is now correctly lined up, and it's green again. We go racing. Spengler, of course, has lost some of his advantage, but the overall order is pretty well as it was before. Spengler from Ekstrom, Schumacher, then it's Scheider, Tomczyk, Engel having an excellent race. Molina and Gary Paffett is still charging hard. And Paffett is certainly going to try and get past Molina. Oh, twitching on the grass, but he's past Molina. Now, has Molina got anything for him? Tries to, let's just look further down your picture. And yeah, I think Molina was trying to come back. Molina actually missed his braking and was tipped by Oliver Jarvis. Renger van der Zande got involved in that skirmish as well. It wasn't too clear on our pictures, but he has some bodywork damage. Renger van der Zande, the young Dutchman. And some replays here of Gary on the grass. This is that's the Molina spin to the red and white car as Jarvis just tipped him round. Yes, and that in the pits was actually the partner of Martin Tomczyk, another lady who races. Well, here's the top three, and then Paffett just joining in at the back now, and well, it's all pretty close, as you see. Paffett in front of Maro Engel. And Paffett has moved up right from the back of the field. And I think we can hear a quick quote from him now.
I mean, to get sixth place from that bar back is an incredible result. You know, it's a big challenge. I mean, it was a tough race, but the car was really good. The team did a fantastic job with strategy. And I fought hard. I never gave up. I pushed all the way to the end. So, yeah, very pleased.
Renger van der Zande has lost his bonnet, obviously from getting involved in that shunt. This is what happened, and this is what he thought about it.
I was just behind the car in front of me, but he didn't make such a good restart, so he brake tested me, and there was no chance of braking for me anymore before crossing the line actually. So at the end, in turn 2, after 2 laps, the front cover came off, and you know, the engine power was going down and a bit too hot, so I decided to come in.
So he came in at the front, no change. Spengler leading Ekstrom, Schumacher third. Then it's Scheider, Tomczyk, and Gary Paffett up to a sensational 6th spot. What a drive from Gary Paffett. But what a cool, confident drive from Bruno Spengler. Round 1 is here at Hockenheim. The second round will be at Zandvoort in a couple of weeks' time. And then they're off to Austria, revised what is now called Red Bull Ring. The old A1, look forward to going back there. DTM have raced there in the past. On board there briefly with Ralf Schumacher. Best place last season was 6th, so doing considerably better than that. But Scheider now, I think, appears to be slowing slightly. There is Paffett. Right in the closing stages then, with the silver and blue car of the French-Canadian out at the front, where he has been right from the first corner. Went wide on the first corner, snatched the lead there. It's never been challenged since. And it looks as if Schumacher is going to get his first podium of the DTM. On to the last lap. There's Norbert Haug's already composing a text. There's Dr. Ulrich. And I definitely think that Ekstrom has got a problem. Actually, Ekstrom, I think, has slowed. Can Schumacher catch him? Not sure if it's a puncture. Ekstrom has slowed. There's no question of doubt about that. Look at that second, third and fourth, all closing up now. Could have quite a grandstand finish between these through. Up through the gears. And it'd be a nice reward for the Schumacher crew. Look at Timo Scheider. Timo Scheider trying to get past Gary Paffett. They're side by side. But Paffett shuts the door. And meanwhile, Ekstrom's car, well, thought he had a problem, but he seems to have pulled out a little bit. The car is definitely not handling quite correctly. And look at Tomczyk right there as well. So, second place could change right in the closing seconds, but there'll be a victory celebration from the French Canadians. Great win there by Bruno Spengler. He locks it all up. And look at that, pulling off there. Ekstrom just held on to second place. The last corner he was very slow indeed. And there he is, stopped. And I think he's radioed back to the crew saying there's something wrong in either the tyre or in the rear suspension. And I think we can find out exactly what from the man himself.
Sure, I would like to have won the race. I thought at one stage, just before the safety car, I thought I could catch him because I got into good rhythm and the car felt very good on the long run on the Hankook tire. So I had a little feeling. Then the safety car came, and after the safety car, I felt we maybe had a little tire pressure, and on the restart he was sailing away a bit, and yeah, I think that was just settling for second until the last lap when something happened on the right suspension, and I was really worried the last few corners because I couldn't push at all, and to be just 2 tenths in front of Ralph was a real relief, and I'm really happy for those 8 points.
Let's confirm the race result. Of course, the victory there for Bruno Spengler. First time he's won the opening round of the season. Second place to Ekstrom. Ralf Schumacher on the podium for the first time, and a great drive from Gary Paffett.
It was a great race. I was so happy with my car. My start wasn't great. I had a bit of wheel spin. Matthias did a great start, but I managed to stay in front of him. Then I could pull away. My car was very consistent. Even on old tires was an amazing job that my team did this morning. Also for the race, my car was just great, and the pit stops were great again. I was a bit lucky with the safety car, to be honest. I was a bit scared when I came into the pits. I saw the red light at the end. I thought, oh, this could be difficult. But then I concentrated again when I was on track, and I was really happy. I mean, Matthias was also pushing quite hard in the back, but I could always have a bit of a gap. And like I said, thank you to my team. My car was really great this weekend. I'm so happy about this victory.
And Norbert Haug there, happy with the win, of course. Also happy that Ralf Schumacher has finally made it onto the podium at his 33rd attempt. So Ralf Schumacher looking quick all through the weekend, likes the new Hankook tyres, and let's hear from him right now.
Well, it was a pretty tough race. I made some mistakes, and luckily I just got it in, basically. And I'm pretty happy for the team after so many races, so many years, to be finally on the podium. I mean, there were so many questions, and I have to say thanks to the guys that have done such a hard work for no result so far, so it's all for them.
So for the first time in 2011, the DTM bubbly is sprayed. Norbert Haug, Mercedes team boss, very happy with that result.
I mean, Bruno controlled the race. He drove as fast as he should. He could have pushed much more still, and Ralf did a fantastic job coming home third. It was close for him to catch Ekstrom in second place. We have 5 cars in the top 8. And Gary came from 18th from last spot on the grid to 6th. A tremendous race for us and a very good result.
That's Norbert Haug, and now we can hear from the boss of Audi, and that is, of course, Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich. Maybe he knows what happened to Ekstrom's car at the end, but it did seem to be a suspension problem.
Yeah, at the end it was not possible to catch Bruno. It was always a small gap. At the end, for sure, I thought it could become more close. But Matthias had in the last 4 laps some problems. We don't know exactly what it was. First we thought he had a slow puncture and lost some air. But when they pushed the car back to the pit lane, it didn't look like. We will know it after it comes out of Parc Fermé. I think we've been close, but we have not been close enough. We will try hard next time.
So time to celebrate. Spengler throws himself onto the bonnet of the car, as we've seen him do on 6 previous occasions in the DTM.
The new season of the DTM couldn't have started any better. I hope you enjoyed the highlights of this very first race weekend. Bruno Spengler certainly deserved this victory, followed by Matthias Ekström in 2nd place and Ralf Schumacher in the 3rd place, his first podium in the DTM. And we're looking forward to a very exciting race weekend in Zandvoort. See you then. Bye-bye.
Yes, thanks very much, Verena. And we're going to leave you with the highlights of the race. But from me, your race commentator, Andrew Marriott, goodbye until the next time.